by faith, the people passed through the Red Sea on dry land. But when the Egyptians tried to do so, they were drowned. And that comes from Hebrews 11:29. And so I just love that text, because we never really know what God is up to, right? And Pharaoh we already know about Pharaoh and how he finally let the Hebrews go and come out of slavery, right? And so after the Israelites came out of slavery, God tells Moses, after they had, camped, to turn back and encamp near Pi-Haroth. And so God said for them to go to a dead end. God told them to go to a dead end. The Israelites didn't know that they were going to a dead end. They just knew they had to go. They just knew they had to listen to what Moses said and get to where they needed to go. They didn't know Pharaoh would pursue them, but God knew. And so God put them in a position, right, for Pharaoh to drown. Hey, Alicia, God put them in position for Pharaoh to drown. And God made that decision before they even journeyed to the dead end. Before he told Moses what he was doing, God knew. He knew how and what Pharaoh's thoughts would be. And he used Pharaoh's own negative thoughts and plan of evil and the plan of the enemy to kill the enemy. Hey, Katrina. God used Pharaoh's own thoughts to kill himself. But in faith, the Hebrews had to obey for Pharaoh and his men to die, for the plan to be fully realized. And just remember, God is the ultimate orchestrator. We try to control things and how they go and how they are. But God is the ultimate orchestrator, right? God is strategy. God is planning. God is shifting. God is moving. He's always doing what is necessary in the background that we don't always see. And so we have to know that God is fully in control. And if God is telling you to go somewhere, then you're good, right? But here's the kicker. Sometimes things can get thrown off. The journey is going well, right? You're going towards whatever God has told you, because again, you don't know that there's about to be a dead end. And initially you're fine and God is keeping you. But lo and behold, certain things seem like a setup, because when, of course, they come into the sea, they're like, hold up, God. I'm at a dead end. Once you get there, it literally looks like a dead end. And so they're like, hold up. Some of you may even be thinking for yourselves, like, where do I go? God, you told me to come here, right? Like, did I take the wrong directions? Why did you even bring me here? Like, why did you give me the wrong directions, God? Because it seems like this is the wrong directions, because you're sending me here to a sea, and it looks like a dead end, right? Because to all of us, it will clearly look like a dead end, especially if we didn't have the faith that we needed. And so God will take us to some places that seem unwinnable once you get there, right? But again, God is the ultimate orchestrator. And I want to say this too. Sometimes we think when we get to that dead end that something is wrong with us. Like we did something wrong. Like, did we make a wrong turn, back there? No. God is bringing you to that dead end. Why? Because he has a plan to kill your enemy. And we don't know the mind of God, right? So we have to be able to trust if he says to go somewhere that he is doing it for our good. And so, yes, it may seem like a dead end, like it did to the Israelites, and they were grumbling, and we do the exact same thing, right? It may seem like a dead end. And I'm telling you, it actually is. It is a dead end for those pursuing you. It is a dead end for the blows that Satan keeps trying to throw at you. It is a dead end for those that oppose God and use you in the mix of it. It is a dead end for them, but it is not a dead end for you. You can't turn around. You can't look back. Keep going forward. Keep going straight. Keep going as God has told you to do. And as you keep going straight, just like Moses, lift your hands up in faith. And watch the opening uncover itself right before your very eyes. But the thing is, we have to have faith, even though we don't know the full plan of God. And for it to be realized, God can't kill off Pharaoh. God can't kill off your Pharaoh and anything else that's pursuing you if you don't go in faith and face that dead end, knowing that as long as you raise your hands, as long as you have that faith, that there is going to be an opening for you. And the enemy is going to try to confuse you and tell you to go back, turn around, and all of that. I already know that God is orchestrating something in the background that I don't see, but I'm going to have to walk in faith. And so how do we even gain faith? Y'all already know where I'm going to go. You need to be reading God's words. How you going to gain faith and you not reading God's words? It can't happen. Reading God's words and studying the words of God, right? Taking notes regularly. Gaining faith by just counting your blessings. Look on what God has done already. That helps you to gain your faith for the next one, right? For anything else that's coming along. Hey, Brother Curtis. Gain faith by serving, by helping others. So a lot of times you're not even dealing with your own thought process and what's going on with yourself because you are actually doing what God has called us to do. Gain faith by prayer and meditation, and then listen. We have to stop talking sometimes and listen to God. And we always know because he's God, God always wins, right? God always wins. God always wins. God always wins. So have faith in him no matter what it looks like. Do the practical things you need to do to gain faith and watch the reality of God's plans come. Watch the reality of God's plans come. Start gaining faith. And by that faith, start taking actions and doing what God has called you to do. Go ahead and start today because tomorrow is too late to be great. Y'all have a good one.